Hallo Freunde und willkommen. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today's video, we're just going to keep on trucking with reaction videos. And today's video, I have one about why living in Germany is better than living in America. Now, I know a lot of people have done these videos. I think I may have done one, or I might do one in the future. But anyway, I love to see other people's views on why they think living in one place is better than living in another, because everybody has their own perspective. Now, granted, a lot of things overlap and people regurgitate the same things, but it's coming from somebody else, so it's always going to be their own perspective, which is nice. So let's see what this young couple has to say and why they think living in Germany is better than living in the United States.
Machines where you stick it in and it goes boop, and you get money.
It's one way to start.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jan from Germany, and this Kalina from the United States.
Okay, so this one's pretty nice because they're each from a different place. So one from Germany, one from US. Very similar to my wife and I, although I'm the one from the US and she's the one from Germany.
Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about why it's better to live in Germany than in the US.
So we were brainstorming and we found 7 major benefits to live in Germany.
So number 1 is public transportation. This is something that Germany does way better than America. In Germany, it's so much easier to get around. The cities are super well connected and you can find whatever type of transport you need.
We have so many different types of transportations like the S-Bahn, U-Bahn. The S-Bahn is overground, it's from city to city. U-Bahn is underground. The buses, trams, and the big trains like the ICE.
The cities here are just so much more connected and it's easy to travel. Whether you're in a major metropolitan city or if you're in a small village, you can find a train station or a bus stop and it's super easy to get around. Whereas in the US, pretty much everyone drives with their car everywhere. Public transportation exists in many cities, but people don't really use it, or it just isn't good enough to actually use on a regular basis. Which leads us to...
Alright, I've talked about this one before. Public transportation is second to none in Europe. Like I've said before, my wife's hometown, population about 500 people, has a bus stop. And from that bus stop, I can get to a train station and then another train station that's international, so I can go anywhere. So they are correct. The public transportation is brilliant over there. Whereas here in the U.S., where I live currently, there's no public transportation per se. In that traditional sense of, trains or trams or subways. There are Lyft and Uber drivers, but even where I'm at, it takes a while for them to get to me, and then it costs an arm and a leg for me to get where I'm going. So unless you are in New York or LA or any of those densely populated areas, public transportation just really doesn't exist.
Point number 2, the location of Germany. Germany is very well situated in Europe and it's easy to travel throughout Europe.
Yeah, Germany is in the central of Europe. It's between East and West Europe and it has so much benefits out of it. So you can travel easily to different countries in such less time. There are 9 countries bordered around Germany, like Poland, then the Czech Republic, the Switzerland, Belgium, Austria, Luxembourg,
Italy.
Netherlands, Denmark. I already told everyone?
I think that's all of them.
Yeah, that's all.
France?
France. Oh, I forgot France.
So, I mean, with all those countries sharing a border, it's so easy to travel to another country. Sometimes within just an hour you can get to another country, depending on where you are in Germany.
But you can also travel easily and so fast to small south countries like Greece or like the Balkan states, which is pretty cheap. And it's sometimes that's only like 2 hours flight or 3 hours flight, so you don't have to go to in the plane like fly 6 hours to get somewhere in a different spot.
Germany has a lot of really well-connected airports, so it's easy to find flights all throughout the world, and it's pretty reasonable prices to travel. Point number 3.
Yes, and I'm wondering if the location of Germany isn't one of the very top reasons why people move to Europe or move to Germany. Besides the culture, besides the people, besides the landscape, just the location itself is so centrally located that they're very correct. I mean, you can get anywhere. We used to go shopping in Luxembourg City all the time because it was only an hour drive away, or an hour and a half, and it was tax-free actually as well. Or, you know, to France. I went to France just on a day trip. So, and that's not to mention like they mentioned, the flights, the airplane flights from place to place. Not only is it quick, but it's super cheap compared to flying anywhere else. You can get a ticket for like $99 or $100 to fly in to many places.
Is that Germany is super environmentally friendly. So I've lived in quite a few different countries, and Germany is by far the most environmentally friendly. Here in Germany, they have a great recycling system. I was so happy when I got here because I love recycling, and here everything's so organized. There's different bins for every kind of waste product you have, and I really like that. That's something that you can find in the States, but it really depends on which state you live on, even depending on what city you're in, whether or not you have good recycling options in the state. But here in Germany, as I understand, it's pretty much throughout the entire country, there's the same kind of standards for recycling.
Yeah, for example, for one bottle, you can get like 25 cents back. So it's worth to bring it back, not
Fund.
like...
Yeah, so all the plastic and glass bottles you can return. It's called the fund.
Fund, yeah.
And they have at every shop just these machines where you stick it in and it goes boop, and you get money. So you can spend it at the store. That's my favorite part of going shopping, is doing the fund. Also, there are a lot of like bio or like organic food options or fair trade food options. And what I've noticed is it's just really popular here in Germany, and it's really accessible. Like, I don't think it's like crazy expensive. It's pretty much good prices compared to the non-bio foods. And I think in general, German people choose bio products over the non-bio products.
More and more uncommon to buy bio products. It's healthy, it's less with chemicals, and it's still available for everyone. Number 4.
Okay, so there's kind of a double-edged sword when it comes to recycling over there, I feel. And one, it's great that they recycle just about everything. And whereas here in the US, it's, yes, we have a recycle bin, but you throw everything in there that isn't garbage. So from there, who even knows where it goes, if it even gets recycled, or you know what happens to it. On the other hand, over there, it's almost too much. You have glass bins, but it's not just for glass. It's for green glass, brown glass, white glass. So you have to separate it even farther than just glass. I like that. It's just for people who haven't done it, or you know, haven't been exposed to it, it could probably be a little overwhelming as to what you do with everything. Being eco-friendly is very important, especially in this day and age, so I do appreciate that about Germany.
Free education.
Yeah, this is an awesome one, especially compared to
Free.
the States, where higher education is so expensive. People pay thousands and thousands of dollars per year to get a university education. But here in Germany, it's free.
I mean, it's not that free, but it's pretty cheap. And you also get a ticket, which you can use for the whole state. We use every tram, every bus everything.
From what I understand, it's tuition. There's no tuition costs. So it's free tuition, but you usually pay a fee, like a university fee, maybe per semester. I think it depends on the university or what area you live in. And that gives you this free transportation ticket and then access to all the university resources.
In comparison to US, it's nothing. Like, it's really nothing. So it's totally available for students.
I wish that education was like this in the US, or that more people knew it was like this and study in a different country if the US doesn't have good options for you.
Number 5 is...
I'm glad they clarified the free part of education. There are fees, and it changes depending on what university you go to. But in contrast, I went to Arizona State University, not as a full-time student, but I did take, I believe it was 5 classes. I did get a couple loans. Okay, that's just 5 classes. And I think I owed close to $15,000 for 5 classes. That's $3,000 a class that I'm paying for right now. And I wasn't even a full-time student for 4 years. That was 5 classes. So that's a touchy subject here in the United States. For some reason, people just are completely against making education available to everybody.
Bakeries, and this is so normal for me, and I was pretty stunned when she came here and she was like, what, like, I think you know what a bakery is, but...
Oh my gosh.
But for me, it was totally normal.
You can find a bakery pretty much anywhere in Germany. In every city, they're on every street, I feel like. I see a bakery all the time. And it's just such a common thing in German culture to go to the bakery to get fresh bread every day. Or get these tiny fresh buns. People use them for their breakfast.
So
and
delicious.
They just have really high quality and tasty bakery products. And in the US, we don't have bakeries like this. Usually you would just go to a bakery section in a supermarket or grocery store. And even then, I feel like most Americans just get like a bag of bread that's just already sliced and it's just been in the bag for who knows how long. But here in Germany, you get fresh, warm, delicious bread.
And the buns.
And the buns,
The German loves their buns, really.
Number 6.
Bakeries are everywhere, and there's plenty of videos out there explaining how many different types of bread. There's like 3,000 or more than 3,000 different types of bread. Where my wife's from, they had, I don't believe it's still there anymore, but they used to have a bakery right across the street. So even in the morning, you run across the street, get some fresh bread, you come back and you have breakfast. It's amazing. And not only do they have the brick and mortar bakeries, but I remember being over there and they had the Brötchen man. That's what we called him. He was the guy in the truck, food truck, and he would have sandwiches and bread and he would drive around. So when you're in the military and you're out on a field problem, when you see that guy, that's a welcome sight, believe me.
Is you can find paid internships here in Germany. You can find paid internships in the US too, but I feel like it's so common to have unpaid internships in the US. Like so many times I wanted to apply for different internships, different opportunities, and you don't get paid for your work. And that is something that's really hard, especially when you're young and you need, I mean, everybody needs money regardless if you're young, but when you're working like a full-time internship, it's nice to get paid for that work. So from my understanding, there is a German law in place that requires companies to pay their interns unless you are a working student or if it's a compulsory internship, so you have to do it for your studies. Then there's different guidelines and rules and you could do an unpaid internship.
Also, companies contribute to health insurance.
Yeah, this was so shocking to me because normally companies in the US say that your health insurance and social security benefit, that type of stuff is not provided by the company because you're just an intern. So I came here expecting that, but then I learned that the company is going to make contributions to your health insurance payments. So that is something that's super cool, and that's something that Germany just does better in general, is their healthcare.
The last point is something.
Okay, I'm not too familiar with internships because I've never done one, but this does make sense. I know a lot of people have seen, ads or whatever for interns here in the U.S., and you don't really get paid. If you do, it's very small. I feel like the more internships that are paid here are trade internships, like if you're intern, an apprentice basically, so not necessarily intern. But I don't know a whole lot about the internship, so I can't really comment too much on that one.
Something really important for me, the Sundays.
Lazy Sunday.
The really calm Sundays, so you can just relax and you can just enjoy the day.
Sundays here in Germany are super calm and quiet, mainly because most of the shops are closed on Sunday. They don't operate.
It has something with a religion background, like not working on Sunday, and they just keep it, and it's also for the employees, so they can stay at home and just relax for a free day. You really, at some point when you work all week, you can just enjoy the Sunday, and there is less traffic, less people on the street, or it depends where you are, but it's becoming so quiet, and it's cool.
Germans really value their personal time. I think that Germans are very hardworking people, but they separate like their work and their personal life.
Yes.
Like it's this work-life balance here in Germany that you don't find so much in the US, because everyone is so work-driven and career-driven, and Sunday in the US is basically like another day. Most people don't have to work on Sunday, but all the shops, restaurants, everything are usually open on Sundays, and so it feels just like another day. It's just as crazy and hectic. But here you can really notice the difference on Sunday, how calm it is, and how people take that time to relax and recharge for the next week. And I think that's something that's super healthy and good for just morale, good for people. So these are just a few reasons.
Okay, Sundays, you either like the lazy Sunday or you don't like the lazy Sunday. And my wife, who is German, hates Sundays. She gets so bored. There's nothing to do, nothing on TV. And I'm kind of in the same way, you always feel like you need to do something or want to do something, and then you realize, oh, it's Sunday, you can't really do anything. Anymore though, depending on where you are in Germany, Sundays, not every single place is closed, but it just comes down to the lifestyle and the culture and what you're used to. I feel like there's plenty to do on Sunday. You just have to maybe think outside the box, go for a walk or go for a drive. Just get out for a while. You don't have to worry about work. You don't have to worry about, grocery shopping, unless you're just used to doing it on Sundays in the US. But it's a difference that would take some getting used to, I think.
That I found that I love about Germany and that I think make living in Germany a little bit better than living in the US. And of course, I love the US too, but life in Germany is pretty good.
Like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that wasn't too bad. A lot of things that other people have said in previous videos, it seems to be the same few things over and over again. But it's, like I said at the beginning, it's nice to get somebody else's perspective. Where I think we need to be careful is saying that because of these reasons, living in one place is better than living in another. I think the word better it could be subjective, so it depends on who you are, what you enjoy, what your idea of better is. So for some people, Having a lot of bakeries isn't a big deal. Having public transportation isn't a big deal. Traveling isn't a big deal. I know a few people that just, they don't want to travel. They have no interest in leaving their hometown. I think that's pretty sad and narrow-minded, but there's people like that. So they aren't going to consider Germany being better than the United States based on those factors. But, you know, to each their own. I agree with all of these points. I'm not so sure about internships because I've never done one and I probably won't, so that's not a big deal to me. And there's a few others that I would probably come up with, and maybe that's a video for the future. And the things that I enjoy more about Germany than I do about the United States. And I think if you think hard about it, you can come up with your own reasoning. You know, it's all a personal choice. It's all very personal. So my idea of a better place is not the same as your idea of a better place. And that's okay. That's fine. That's why we have people all over the world, because they like to be where they are, and if they don't, you know, maybe they can move, maybe not, you know, depending on circumstances, but that's kind of beside the point with this video. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video, and leave any comments down below on if there's anything that you can come up with that's different, maybe that hasn't been said a million times before. I will leave a link to the original video down in the description if I can talk. Also, if you like the video, please hit that thumbs up, and if you want to see more of my videos in the future, think about subscribing. It really does help a lot. And I'd like to take just a short minute to thank all the people who have subscribed in the last week and a half. A tremendous number of people have jumped on the Nate bandwagon, and I really appreciate it. It's pretty much blown me away at the number of comments, positive comments, and new subscribers. I'm thinking in a future video I want to put together a list of other videos that aren't so well known, that have to do with Germany, and share them and get, you know, more people over to their videos, because I think we can all help each other out in this world, and I'll just try and do my small part. So thank you again for watching the video, and until next time, I'll see you later.